Hello, everybody. Did my voice just crack because I was saying hello?
Maybe. I just noticed we have quite a few attendees today. This is
I
awesome.
know. This is a lot of people here today. Thank you very much for coming by to see us. We are going to hopefully give you a good overview of using CRM and getting you in there using the top producer CRM, getting you in there and making sure everything's all set up. Now, the most important part of this is going to be the fact that you have an amazing host who doesn't get tripped over her words as much as I do by the name of Heather. So
That's
Heather,
totally not true, but I trip over my words all the time. But
I
I'm
will give you
actually
credit.
I'm excited today. I've been having a good day. Um, it's my puppy Gracie. It's her fourth birthday today, so she's off getting spoiled right now. By my sister came up and surprised her with some Tim Hortons toys and stuff. If you don't know what Tim Hortons is, it's kind of like a cheaper Starbucks, but in Canada. And my last customer I was just talking to, I got really excited. If anyone knows me, knows that I love Paris. And my last customer I was just talking to said that we'll have to wait a little bit longer to meet because he's going to Paris. And I was just like super excited. So that kind of made my day.
Awesome.
Yay. So of course, half my video or half of our Zoom ended up talking about Paris. But anyways, we are here to show you how the CRM works. Hopefully by now you would have already signed in to your CRM. If you haven't, you should receive an email after you had signed up. Either it just come from the sales rep or from top producer.
It comes from top producer.
From top producer, with your username and password. So just look for activate and get your email, sign in. You're going to go to your web browser, type in crm.topproducer.com, and that's going to bring you to your login. Now, if you are logging in for the very first time, once you do log in, it brings you to your My Information page, which we'll quickly go over here in a second. After you fill that in, you hit save. It'll ask you to add a contact. You'll see either say import contacts or add a contact. Always suggest adding yourself just as a test account. Am I going too fast or did I kind of like
You
skip?
you bypassed two whole
I'm excited. I'm in a hurry today.
I see that. So since Heather's on I Heather's on a speed freak today. Let me go over a couple of things that might be helpful. We do have interaction. We love engagement, and we're here to answer questions for you. So you can click on the chat button down on the bottom. And I do joke, Heather is not on speed. Uh,
I'm on
she's
a
just
lot of
a
coffee right
happy
now,
person.
and I'm
Yes.
happy.
I just
Um,
realized I better clarify that, or else this video will get toasted. But we do appreciate hearing from you. That way we can tailor our introductions and information to you guys as best we have. One of us will answer you either through the chat or even one-on-one.
yeah,
Well,
we'll do like
through
usually a little demo as well.
yeah.
So definitely ask your questions in the chat.
We do also have a very friendly, very much still homegrown human customer care team. No robots yet. I am not a robot in a human suit. If I was, I would not trip over my words as well, unless they program me very, very detailed. But when you do need them, they are there for you. So anytime you're in any top producer product, down in the bottom right, you're going to see what looks like a chat bubble. You click on that, reach out to them, and between the hours of 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday, somebody will be there to help you. If you
Awesome.
find something you need help with is not time sensitive, go ahead and email us at support@topproducer.com. And lastly, we do have our support.topproducer.com website where you can find them up-to-date frequently asked questions and anything you may need help with.
Cool. And if you haven't had one of our concierge, we do one-on-one. So if that's something that interests you, you can pay for concierge and we will meet with you directly one-on-one and give you that extra support if you need it. But otherwise, we're here every couple weeks. So which doesn't cost anything, just your time. You can also see this afterwards. It will be recorded and posted online. So let's jump in. Also, let's begin. Let's jump in. I also like to kind of quickly go over the settings just because it's kind of mundane is one way to put it. It's pretty pretty easy to follow. We're going to kind of quickly go through each tab and the information that you need to put in, but then we're really going to kind of focus on more the CRM in general and how to use the features. So firstly, when you do sign in, there's two different ways to get to your settings. You can either get to it in the very bottom left corner or the very top right corner. There's a little where your picture would be, there's a drop down, you can go to settings. The first tab at the top, so you'll see settings at the top left, and then you're going to go through each of these tabs individually. My information, oh, and I'm just going to stop for a quick second. I might speak fast, so if I am going too fast, please mention it in the chat and say slow down, or can you repeat that? And I gladly will. And again, like I said, this is going to be recorded, so you can go back and watch it as well. So my information, this is important that the information you put in here is going to be seen by customers. So you want to make sure that it's none of your private information. Please, for your address, put in your work address, don't put your home address in here. So any information on this page is what your customers will see. Also, another very important tidbit at the very bottom of here is make sure that your time zone is correct to where you live, because anything you put in your calendar or for appointments, anything goes based on your time zone. So you either don't want to be way too early or too late for an important meeting. So once you're done with all this, at the very bottom, it says save my info. Make sure to save it. If you just close out of it, it won't save. Okay. So once you've gone through that, notifications, again, I'm just going to go through the settings pretty quickly. It's pretty generic settings to fill out. You want to put your information in, what you want to be contacted with and such. So your notifications, this here for lead alerts is if you do have any online leads that come directly in that you want to be alerted either by your text and or email. You can be you can be notified by both or one or the other. And then you also have task reminders. So task reminders are like your to-do lists, or if you have an appointment or a phone call you need to make, you can also be reminded about that phone call you need to make. I know myself, I put everything on my calendar and I have pop-up reminders. So it reminds me about my appointments. Sometimes it reminds me a few days in advance and sometimes 5 minutes in advance. or I message Glenn.
Yes, there has been a lot of times where she's like, hey, do I have this going on today? Yes, Heather. Okay.
All right. Calendar sync. Some of these are just optional. They're not mandatory. Some people still use paper calendars. That's totally okay. If you don't and you like your digital calendar set up to your phone, you can go ahead and sync your calendar over using your default email that you have set up to your calendar. Now we have contact sync and import contacts. If you have a CSV file of contacts, kind of like on an Excel spreadsheet, you want to make sure that you import them first before you do your contact sync, just so you can stay clear of those duplicates. So if you're going to do both, make sure to do contact sync second. And either or, you don't have to do either. You can import your contacts manually one by one, totally up to you how you want to bring your contacts over. Email integration. I think this is a very important one. This is, again, for you to get the best use of your CRM. A lot of people will send emails from here. This is going to be the email that you set up that you want your customer seeing. So when you send an email from here, this is the email they see. Also, when you send from here, a couple neat things, you can set them up on drip campaigns. So you have the automated emails being sent out. When you send it from here, so for example, this is obviously a fake account and everything on our demo test account is all fake. We just do it for demo purposes. But so obviously this email address is something that we set up. It is a Gmail. So when we send from here, it still actually sends from the Gmail account. So when you send from here, you're going to have emails in both places, email in here as well as a Gmail account. If same thing, if you're setting up an Outlook account, it's going to be in here. It's also going to be in your Outlook. Okay, how do we export our Social Connect leads? I guess it would just be a regular export, but
Yeah, so to do an export, you would have to presently use what we call our top producer 8i software, which is our legacy version, because we haven't got exporting capabilities in X at this time. So if you do need to do that, the best way to do it is to go up here, and every one of you has access to top producer 8i. So you go to top producer 8i, just quickly log in, and you'll notice it's much different, but you hover over contacts here and go to search for contacts. You select We'll just take 2 contact types.
Or you can select all of them.
Yep.
And just go to search and select all your contacts.
Then you choose here and export contacts. That though is, like I say, something that you do have to do in the 8i version. If you would like to see export capabilities in Top Producer X, please go down to this feedback button down here and tell our developers that you do need to be able to export them.
Also, another quick way you can do this as well is reach out to our chat and let them know you would like your contacts exported, and we will do that for you and send you an email of your contacts.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is that option as well. So
because we don't have that easy, quick access to do it from here, just chat with us and we will export it for you. So kind of saves you a little bit of hassle as well.
And normally the chat would show up down here, but as I'm fond of saying is I've abused this account, so some things don't look the same way. This is more of a testing account that we use for a lot of other testing purposes.
Absolutely. So after you set up your email integration, email signature, this is important. This is just your block signature that goes at the bottom of your email, but you do want to make sure that when we woof for you, you do want to make sure that when you are sending out emails to your contacts, that they know who it's coming from. So I think it's important to add your signature. Lead providers, you don't need to worry about this one so much right now because adding the lead alert settings you've done in notifications. However, if you do have other lead programs that you use, such as realtor.com or iHomeFinder, there's a whole list of different online lead supporters you can use. You can take this now. Yours is going to look different. Yours is likely going to be your first last name. It'll be your username at myleads.io. You would copy this email address and you would put it in the back end of the web or of the lead providers that you're getting. So if realtor.com, you would go to their website and you would do the lead forwarding using this address. So what that does is that it brings your leads directly into our CRM. And that way you don't have to get them and then manually put them in. They just automatically come over. Another great thing about that too is that you can also set them up on an auto lead
Response plan.
Thank
So
you.
that whenever you get a new lead, you'll automatically start doing your drip campaign with them. So because we all know that there's that magic 5-minute window that if you don't connect with your clients, they're going to get bored and try to reach out to another realtor. So we don't want you to lose out on that client.
Absolutely. Market snapshots. So this is another one that you want to make sure is set up. I 100% think everything here should be turned on. We're going to show you after why I think everything should be turned on. Yes, you do want to send the solds and the pendings expired to your buyers, and you're going to see why later. Also at the very bottom, so everything here should already be checked on by default, but you want to make sure the auto fulfillment settings at the very bottom is checked on, especially if you get any online leads that do come directly in, because this way they will get a automatic market snapshot sent to them right away without you having to fill it out and send it to them. So once you've done this, scroll down, hit the save in the bottom right corner. Anytime you make any adjustments and there's a save, you want to make sure that you hit that save. In order to use the market snapshot, you want to make sure your MLS credentials are set up. So this way it pulls from your MLS board. So add MLS credentials, type in your board, make sure you type it in because you can be scrolling for a very long time. If there's a lot of MLS boards in there. It will populate once you're typing it in. Usually it'll ask you for a username, which will be your MLS username. So you'll see probably a username that has your first last name, which is your top producer last name. Just to erase that out of there and put your MLS username. Most of the times it's numbers. Sometimes there's initials involved. If it's all letters, the likelihood it's more going to be uppercase than lowercase. So try it. It'll come up valid. If it comes up invalid and you've tried a few different ways, please reach out to us in our chat so we can help you get set up with that.
Absolutely. And sometimes we have noticed that sometimes the MLSs give us a roster name that's a little bit different than what you have. If you are running into that issue, we can find that and get you set up. We're here to help.
Perfect. Team management. If you do have a team of agents below you and you've added a team account, this is where you can come set up your team by adding your agent and creating your own username and password for them as well. Texting. If you decide you want to set up your texting. Oh, I didn't even know if mine's working yet. If you do set up your texting, if you are in the States, there is a new law that came out in the States through the FCC that it has to go through them and for them to approve it. So it could take a week, it could take several weeks. Unfortunately, that's out of our hands once it goes to them. Once it is set up, I'm just going to kind of quickly explain how this works. So it won't be your number that the customers will see. We will provide another number. It's a one-time number. It won't change every time you send a text, but your customers will see that. When they respond to that number, you will get a text to your phone though, saying you have a text from so-and-so at Top Producer. Also, if somebody calls that number, it will ring to your phone. So one of the best ways to use it, or one of the main reasons you would want to use this, is to keep everything in one place. Keep your texting, your emails, your notes, everything in one place instead of having to go to multiple software systems. So not a bad idea to set that up if that's something you're interested in. And UI settings is user interface settings. Nothing that you need to set up in here. I would wait until you're kind of better familiarized with Top Producer before coming in here, just to change colors and such, but this isn't anything that's mandatory right now. And then Zillow Connect, if you are a Zillow Premier agent, then you can set up the integration and bring in your leads in over from Zillow. Okay, so let's do the fun stuff. Hopefully there's no other questions.
Not yet.
At this time. Again, I probably talk a little bit fast. I hope you're all taking this in, and if you have any questions throughout, please ask us, because this is your time. We're here for you, so we make sure you're getting the best of your CRM. So one of the main things that you want to use with your CRM is follow-up coach. Like you're keeping your customers organized, that's just a kind of a given, but one of the main things is continuing to follow up with them, because your past clients are either going to be repeat clients or they're going to be referrals. That's where you're going to probably get a lot of your work from. So following up with your customer, keeping in front of them is very important. So there's a few different ways to do this. That way you don't just have the one choice, you have multiple choices to follow up with them. And follow-up coach is one of the easiest ones to do. So if you're not using like a drip campaign where you have automated emails going out and you're just not sure who to follow up with, this is what we do, is provide customers for you to follow up with, and it's right there in front of you. So like you can't miss it. When you sign in now, automatically it takes you to the homepage, and right at the very top is follow-up coach. So if you're new and you've just signed up for Top Producer and you don't have more than 5 contacts in your CRM yet, you're not going to see this. If you're new and you've just added a whole list of customers, it hasn't been 24 hours yet, you're not going to see anyone in your follow-up coach. So don't freak out yet if you haven't seen anyone in there. This is why you have to have contacts in your CRM to see someone. So here it's going to give you either the newest customer to reach out or customers that haven't been reached out to in a while. There's a skip button. We usually recommend to skip the skip button. Don't skip it. Don't click on it. We want to follow up, and following up can be so easy. It could be a text, it could be a phone call, maybe a market snapshot, could be an email. You can follow up with your customers however you see fit. You just click on the follow up. We're going to go do a quick little demo, and I did see a question, so we're going to go back to that in just a second. So you click on the follow up, it brings you to your contact status page here, and you choose how you want to follow up with your customer. So let's maybe send them a quick email. Click on emails, click on compose email. You can choose from templates already available for you, or you can type something out. There you go. Go ahead and hit send. I mean, we've done all this in less than 30 seconds. Like now, Glenn and I are pretty familiar with how the system works, but this is the thing. Once you get familiar with how the system works, it's really going to be quick to follow up with your customers. So you've done it, and you hit the little mark done that you followed up, and that's it. You can literally follow up with, a few customers in a few minutes or less. Yeah. Awesome. Sent a follow-up email and you're done. That's it.
Now, let's say you get through all 3 of them real quick, because you may be at Starbucks or Dunkin' waiting for your coffee. Just go ahead and hit refresh list, because you can do this through your cell phone as well. And we will mention how to do that as well.
Absolutely. And following up with your customers, again, is just merely reaching out to them, and it's your choice how you want to reach out to them or what you want to say to them. But again, keep yourself in front of them, like, hey, just, maybe you have a bunch of dog lovers too. We'll give you some other ways to follow up. This is a follow-up coach, and I'll go over a couple. But before we do, let's get this question down here.
Yeah. So concierge service, the best way to explain that is imagine having a one-on-one training session with Heather or myself or our other associate, Evan. We can show you how to get the best use out of the software, make sure it's all fully set up and ready to go. And also give a little bit of tips and tricks on how to organize and make sure everything's flowing. We do that to help make sure that the understanding is there. That way, because knowing how to use the software is one thing, but knowing when to use it and how to use it most effectively is going to help actually make your day easier. To be honest, we've built a software that is pretty self-explanatory. However, the one thing about it is the more you use it, the less you're actually going to spend in the software because you're going to be able to automate a lot of things. However, it's going to keep you up to date and working with your clients. The most important thing any of you ever do on a daily basis is have a conversation with the people that are looking to buy or sell. We take all the memory and paperwork part out of it and put it in one place, and you just get to concentrate on what you do best, which is helping out people find their dream home.
Absolutely. Now, I did see another question there about emails, and I'm going to answer that in with our continuing with our follow-up, because that is, I think that's next, is kind of going over, well, I'll kind of throw it in there after we go over the other ways to follow up, because sending an email is a way to follow up. So there is the follow-up coach. Another way is if we go up to contacts here, we have on each tab, you have a follow-up reminder. So you can you can use this or not. It's totally up to you. It's optional. But you can decide how often you want to follow up with your contacts. So if they are new contacts, you might want to follow up with them every day. New should only be for contacts that are you haven't reached out to these people yet. So if they're in the new, it's because these are people that you haven't talked to. Engaged is for people that you're communicating with right now, but you're still trying to find out if they're a hot or a cold lead. Future are for your contacts that are not in the market to buy or sell right now, but they will be in the future. And active means you're currently working with them. Close is when you close your transaction. But so each stages, you're likely going to reach out to them at different times. Now, you also have the option to use these or not use them, and maybe you use them slightly different. That's totally okay. So you can go this way. Again, you can set your own follow-up reminder. And another way to follow up is by creating drip campaigns. So now we're going to go and show you emails. So to do your drip campaigns, you're going to go to your marketing on the left-hand toolbar. Yeah. And then once you get into your marketing, I would suggest starting in your template library. And so this is where the emails is. So the question here about the emails. So for the template library, we have a ton of templates already available. And these are going to be in your library. They're always going to be here. So there's templates here you can use. You can also go through them before sending them and customize them to fit you and your business and what you would like to say. And if you don't like any of these templates, that's totally cool too. At the very top in the right-hand corner, so if you scroll up, you have a little button that says Add from Scratch, where you can create your own email template, and this is saved in your library. So once you have a template that you're happy with, awesome. Heather says hi. So if you're happy with your template, let's go ahead and save this. Oh, and did we have AI author pop up there? No, or that's just when you're sending.
That was just when. So
okay,
when
we'll
you're
go, yeah.
Yeah, when you're adding from or edit from scratch, you do have the option to use AI enhancements.
This
Yeah.
is right. So once you have your templates, there's a couple things to do. If you're going to create a drip campaign, which is another means of following up, once you're happy with the emails you have, you're going to go to your task plan manager. And we either have some templates you can browse and you can add them and customize them yourself. We also have the button that says add plan, and you can create your own plan from scratch and then add those emails that you just created to go out. But let's show you also how easy it is to send emails. And yes, we are going very fast, so hopefully this is making sense and you're understanding this. One of the best things I suggest doing is if you're not in your CRM yet as a test account, add yourself and go in and try and send yourself an email. It's very simple. Right now, what we're going over is creating a drip campaign to send multiple emails, either bi-weekly or monthly or however often you want to do that. But let's go show them how we can send an email to customers. So we're going to go back over to contacts because the template library isn't where you send emails from. So there's always a few ways to do things in here. Let's just say you want to send an email individually. So we clicked on Gracie. This is my puppy. So we clicked on here. If you're going to send an email to one customer, you're going to go into their contact records. You're going to click on emails and then compose email. And in the bottom right corner, you're going to see the little squiggly brackets. This is where you get to choose that template. And so we can just add the one we just created. And I don't think there was really anything there, but happy birthday, Grace. Cute, cute, cute. So yeah, it's that easy to add and then send. And this is for an individual contact. To send a group. Awesome. What email did that go to? Oh, okay.
Your work one.
My work one, that's cute. If you want to send a group of emails to multiple contacts, you can select individually like this. And then at the top, you're going to see the little icons and then you're going to choose the send group email and choose whichever template works for you. Select template. You have the option to either just send it as is, or you can customize it again if you needed to add something else to it. And that's it. It's that easy. I hope that helped answer your question. But yeah, for creating the emails, you're going into the marketing on the left-hand side and template library at the top of the page and start adding your templates. And they're just going to be stored there. So then it's just easy to choose from.
Yeah, and one other way to do follow-up is to start right off the bat once you get a new lead. So that's where our lead response rules come in. You can create a lead response that is using the source, and you'll notice we've got a few of them already in here. So let's say you're getting Zillow buyers. So you put in Zillow buyers, and then you can add a plan so that as soon as that lead comes in, you're going to notice we're going to start a plan on them right away. It will include text, email, and phone calls for you to do just to make sure everybody's up to date. You just save this. So anytime a source of Zillow comes in, I'm going to have this automatically applied to those contacts and it'll go out and take care of them. One of the other things is helpful there because the fact you are busy people. You might be doing a showing or just having a meeting with your clients. You don't want to miss that lead. So when they come in, you're going to send a message off and they're already going to be engaged. So it's just another little extra helpful piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely. And you do want to make sure too that the source is correct. So just make sure that you watch when those leads do come in, that the source matches up with what you created as well. All right, so now that we're done the follow-ups, this is one of my favorite parts, and I always stress, and I think it's very, very important.
Oh, Heather just froze. So
oh,
you
sorry.
froze for a second. I was just going to say, no, you're unfrozen now, but yes, she stresses so much that it freezes her internet over this one because that's why she's that passionate about it and wants people to do it.
I love types, and I think one of the reasons why I love types too is because I like customization and obviously organization, but so types, the reason why I like this is because you end up having hundreds and thousands of customers and they're not all the same at all. I mean, you've got buyers and you get sellers, and that's just your standard type. That's, kind of boring because some of them can be buyers and sellers, but you're all different realtors in different parts of the country. You maybe you work in a community where you deal mostly with retired contacts or military families or people that want to live on Lakeview or waterfront properties, or you have dog lovers. It doesn't matter. You can create your own types. Get creative, make it fun, make it easy for you. I also have customers that deal with tenants or landlords or cash only buyers or ABC list, or again, make this so that it works for you and your business. And that's another reason why I like types, is because you can make it customizable to you. So how you're going to add types is how Glenn's just showed me here. So he's selected 7 contacts all at the same time you can add the same type to. So by selecting it, you're going to click on the little tag and give them a type. If the type is not in this list, don't worry about it. Create your own type. Heather knows what she's doing. I love it. Okay, there you go. Add it and then say add contact types. Give your customers multiple types. There you go. So another reason why I like to use these so much is because now we can say Heather knows what she's doing. Let's go ahead and click on there. And now it's just going to group those 7 people that we just added that to. So it just makes it so much easier for you and your life. If you want to be organized, this is what you do to stay organized. And one of the things we skipped there in the settings, the UI, was it UI settings or UI settings? Yeah.
UI settings here. This is one of the places where you can add a splash of color. So let's see. We want
Heather knows what she's doing. And let's make it, oh wow, lots of colors to choose
I'm
from.
not going to use anything that
Blue is my
bright.
favorite color. It's like a blue-green.
You want a blue-green? Okay, let's see.
Yeah, let's go blue-green. Ooh, that's really teal.
That's a little too bright, so we're going to tone it down a bit.
There we go.
So we go there. And then when we go back to the contacts.
There we go.
And Heather knows what she's doing.
I kind of do some days.
I have faith in you. That's why I said that.
So yeah, so this is why using your types is very, very helpful. And it also gives you other ways to reach out to your contacts. So for example, I had said dog lovers. Well, you probably have, I would probably guess that like at least half of your contacts, maybe more, are dog lovers. And if a new pet store opens up in town, you can select them all, send them an email. Hey, just touching base. And hey, guess what? A new store opened. It's just another way to kind of keep yourself in front of them without talking about the market all the time. Right. So, but just like a friendly hello. Also, I know Glenn has his mouse over there because he's waiting for this. So another way, another way to stay organized and on top of things is managing your tabs across the top. So those statuses we went over, you can click and drag these and put them in any order you want. Some of them can be removed if you don't want to keep them. And you would also create your own tabs. So if you have like specific types that it's like your go-to people all the time, like maybe it's your A list, you get an ABC list, maybe it's your A list you go to all the time. Let's go create your own tab. And then you can just, you know, it's always kind of there in front of your face for you. So we're going to call it dogs instead of A list. We're going to call it dog lovers. That's better than the A list, right?
Yeah.
They are the A list. All right, perfect. So we got our dog lovers. The tab is created there and it's always going to be there when you come in. So if you didn't want to keep this tab anymore for whatever reason, you can click it up or down, let it go. It turns red, let it go, and then it'll ask you if you want to delete it. That easy.
Did you really start just about to start singing the song Let It Go, Heather?
Probably.
Your voice went into singing it. I know it.
So once you delete it, just remember you're not deleting the contacts that are in there. You're just deleting the tab that you created.
Oops, sorry. I meant to click on this so you can see all the contacts are still there.
Yes.
Exactly. And then if you do need to reset things back to default, you just click on Manage Tabs and reset tabs to default. Absolutely. There we go. Back to the way it started.
I think that's probably my favorite part about the system is being customizable. Again, because everyone kind of works differently, right? So, all right. What is next? Oh, market property insights. So this is going with yourself and buyers. So if you do work with buyers and you like to stay organized, this is one way to do it. If you, right now, when you show properties to your customers, you might not think it's important to save the properties you showed them, or maybe you do and you might have a stack of papers somewhere, but this is a great way to keep on top of the properties that you showed your customers, because if you don't know them personally, which you likely don't, you're going to get a great idea of what they're looking for much quicker, in my opinion. Also, if they come back to you a few weeks later that they had looked at something and they were maybe interested in seeing it again, you can quickly pull up the property insights and go back to and to what they were interested in. So, and I'm going to show you later how quickly you can do this on your phone as well. Um, so, because when you're out with your customers, you don't have to remember this stuff to go back to the office or back to your home computer, type all this stuff in. You can do it right on your phone. So we're going to go into their contact records. We're going to go to property insights. And let's just say you're currently working with a buyer right now. You're going to click on add insight. And this is going to pull directly from the MLS. So you want to make sure that your MLS credentials is set up. And from here, when you are typing in the address, keep notice that it will populate. So if you're typing really too fast, it might not, it'll say it's not recognized, but it also has to match the address. So as long as it pops, you got it, populates down there, and then you can save the property insight. Perfect. You can also choose from the drop-down menu. It says inquired on right now. Maybe you showed it to their customer, maybe they liked it or they didn't like it. I would say that looks like a lot of cement and a lot of white, and it looks kind of boring. This is my opinion, obviously. Quite boring, yes. So make your notes. You can put in the date that you showed your customers. You can put in the notes of what they liked and they didn't like about it. I'm sure there's some great features in there because it is a new build. So there's always some cool features. But this is where you can add your notes about what your customer liked and they didn't like. So this is where you're really going to get to know them.
Now there's two ways to do an insight. You can do it using the address, or you'll notice there's this little button here that says MLS ID. So because I know Heather loves showcasing this, I got one of each. So here we go. We do a search and it finds another house on that area with that information. And then
Oh,
we
it's
just
not so white. This looks kind of cool. It's very like rectangular though. Like it's
well, the golden hour photograph also helps with um, the West Coast, right on the ocean. We love to say red sky at night, sailor's delight, red sky in the morning, sailor's warning.
mm-hmm.
And the red skies, we get a lot of them because of the way the sun goes goes down over the ocean. It's really pretty.
Mm. I actually kind of like that there's no stairs. I live in, I don't know, I have a basement in the main floor and the upstairs. I'm so tired of stairs.
Yeah, right there with you.
Yeah, it's too much. But this is really cool. So again, you can make those notes. One of the things I really like about this too is that when you do make the notes in here, you're going to see it on your dashboard under most recent notes, and it's going to show you the note that you made as well as along with the address. You're also going to see it under the notes section as well. So again, you create that. It's going to kind of flow throughout the system, and it's just going to keep you organized and knowing like right away, and you're customer, I think, is going to be pretty impressed. Like, hey, you know, they remember this is because you have it in front of you and they don't need to know that.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So let's see what's next.
Snapshots, I think.
Yes,
Oh,
good memory.
so this is what we were talking about under my info. When you're setting up the settings, you want to make sure that whatever's in my info is going to go onto your market snapshot report. I also mentioned in here that where Glenn was just on, and it had everything checked off for sending the solds to the buyers. And the reason why we're going to show you, because we're going to create a market snapshot so you can see what that looks like. I think a market snapshot is a great way to stay in touch with your customers, keeping them informed. You can choose how often they get a market snapshot report. So if they're like a past client, but not somebody you're working directly with right now, maybe you just send them a market snapshot like once every couple months or something. Again, it keeps your marketing in front of them, but everyone likes to look at houses. So, and I mean, hey, maybe they're getting a market snapshot report and they might think, you know what, maybe I'm ready to sell. Maybe I'm ready to buy, whatever the case may be. So let's go and create a market snapshot. You can send this for a buyer and or a seller. The report looks the same, but when you're sending it for a seller, you're going to target their specific address and you're going to search for things that are in their areas and similar to their house. So you can show them what the market looks like. When you're sending to a buyer, you're going to target the areas their preferred interest, like where they want to live, the type of house they want to live in, how many bedrooms and bathrooms, the square footage, all that fun stuff. you get to put in here. So once you're done and you've created what you'd like to see for your market snapshot and you've put in all this stuff, like your year is built, this and that, how often the frequency report, how often you want to send them the market snapshot. Keep in mind if they're an interested buyer and they're getting it every 2 weeks, if a new listing comes in that matches their criteria, they will get notified about that, as long as you don't turn it off, of course. And if you scroll down before sending it, I always suggest previewing it so you can see how many listings they're going to get. Oh, well, I guess we would need an email address first.
Not bad.
Test@test.com. All right, so let's go. Can we send it to test@test.com?
Probably. I don't have
Somebody might get it.
so.
So we have 250 listings. So first of all, we didn't put anything in the criteria to bring that search down. Now, the system is not going to send 250 listings. It's going to send 100 at most. But even if you're working with a buyer, I highly suggest not sending them 100 listings because that's too many lists. Somebody doesn't want to look at 100 listings. They want to look at what they're interested in buying. So you're going to put in a max price because this is going to be what they've been pre-approved for. If they've been pre-approved for 800, you're not going to show them homes for probably 400 because that's half of what, so like you're going to kind of get a better understanding of what you need to put in here to bring this list down.
Yeah, because just putting in a 800,000, we only went down to 168. So like Heather said, you're probably going to be going.
I was going to say like 650, 700, but okay.
You'd rather 650? Okay.
Sure.
I am the Muppet. You are the puppeteer. So you just tell me what to do.
So let's preview this. Let's see what we get. 650 to 800. So we get 61 listings. It's still a lot, but you get the idea. Once you're happy with this, you're going to go ahead and send this. And then I'm going to show you the reason why you're going to be sending them the sold listings as well, because you want them to also see what the market report looks like, not just what homes are available. And if you took off sending the buyers all the solds, it's going to say 0 days on market, 0 property. Was it say 0? The average sold is 0 or
average sold above listing price and average days on market.
Yeah, and it looks like a terrible market. So you definitely don't want to keep them. You don't want to take them off.
Well, shall we just show them what it looks like instead?
Absolutely. So once you've sent it and you also seen like where Glenn was just showing you, it will also show you their activity. So you can see if your customers have been clicking on the market snapshot, if they've been viewing the reports. If they like it, if they're looking at a home, they like it, you will get emailed right away saying that they like that property. So here was this what the market snapshot report looks like. Shows you the average asking price, average sold, how many days on market and homes for sale. Shows you the map and all the homes, and it pulls it directly from the MLS. So you can check out all these photos.
I just hit one at random. I want land. I want to be able to have a little bit of space between me and people around me. So that just pops into my head right away. It's like, hey, look at that land.
There you go.
Now, as Heather said, all this information is coming directly from your MLS. So all the photos that are up there, they're going to be able to see. I love how they superimpose the picture of the house on the TV. That's some good Photoshop work there. Props to them. But yeah, so you get to see all this information. Another thing, as Heather said, if you like this listing, if you click on that, you will be notified. So if your client clicks on that, you're going to know that they actually like this one, so you can reach out to them. And this one has a very horrible walk score. So walk score is a wonderful thing in this day and age where gas is expensive and car maintenance is expensive. So being able to find a place where you could walk or ride a bike or even get on transit is very useful. With that, we have this walk score so people can see how close to amenities they will be from their home and whether or not they could walk, ride, or transit it. Unfortunately with this, because I'm pretty sure it's out in the boonies, the best way to put it, you're going to need a car to get around.
And maybe somebody wants a 0 walk score so they can be away from people.
Hi, that's me.
I live in the suburbs right now. So I definitely would like to someday not live in the suburbs because
I
it's.
can touch my house and my neighbor's house. That's too close.
Mhm. What's the question we have here? Can the system pull from multiple? Yes. So if you are on more than one MLS, am I saying this right? For those who work in the, yes. If you are on more than one MLS board, or you belong to more than one MLS, under your settings, under MLS credentials, you can add your boards. And when you're sending a market snapshot at the very top, so right now, like if you just had the one board, it would just automatically pull from that board. But if you belong to multiple boards, when you send a market snapshot at the top, it'll give you the option of a drop down at the top there to choose what board you want to send it from.
Yeah, so the one caveat to what Heather was saying is you're not going to be able to have the cross MLS. You're not going to be able to have it pull from both. You would pull from one and then you'd have to send another snapshot with the other. That is something that we have this lovely button down in the corner called feedback. Give that feedback to our developers and our leadership team. Maybe we can find a way that it would allow to pull it. It's just a little bit of a communication with the MLSs to allow that because of the fact that it would be cross advertising. And they're not always, unless they have agreements in place, they're not always happy with that. Back to you, Heather.
All right. So I think we covered market snapshots there. Pretty good. Everyone feels good about that.
I do. I don't know about everyone else, but I think you explained it well.
So I think our next thing is a newer program that we recently, or I guess recently.
Yeah, it's new features.
New features. Sorry, not Social Connect. Okay. Well,
You were
it's a
doing
new
so
feature.
well on memorizing the deck, and then you just hit that one. You went in the ditch, Heather.
So if you're interested to see what's going to be added to the CRM soon, you can always check out what's new on the left-hand side toolbar there. Click there. It'll show you what's recently been added and also what's going to be coming soon. Apart from AI author, which we haven't really gone over, we should probably, I mean, I'm sure everyone's got that pop-up already, so they've been well informed. Do we have anything else in here that's going to be coming through?
No, right
soon?
now we're just working on a lot of
Fixing
the
bugs.
behind the scenes workflow. There's always work going on behind the scenes to try to improve the speed at which the system works, the well, for like the market snapshot, the geocoding to make sure you get the best information and the best possible properties for your clients, and also just anything to make sure the day-to-day operations work smoothly and easily. But the big one is the AI author.
AI
And
author, yes,
I
this is new.
know
So let's.
Heather absolutely loves this because she tells me on the daily how often she uses AI.
Well, I love ChatGPT, but I think it's good to use if you use it correctly as a tool. So it can help you out. Don't use it and have it do all your work for you, but let it just give you that little that little helping hand. I mean, you can sit there and look at a blank page and you're like, oh, what am I going to write? What am I going to say? You can have something help spit it out for you and then kind of change it. That totally works for me. So we have some that are already available. You can go ahead and choose, and it will create an email for you without, there we go. It'll create an email for you. You say use this in an email. You can make any changes. Now, so my suggestion, because I think this is overload, like when you're sending an email to customers, they're not going to make it past the first paragraph. So I would suggest, what did you say? Keep response
I hit
sufficient and to the point.
concise.
Okay. You can even type in, make it shorter. I'm pretty sure that's gonna, yeah. Type in, make it shorter.
I don't know if we can go any shorter.
Oh, yes, you can. There you go. Yes.
Okay, go.
See, so and this is my suggestion because nobody wants to read a novel. You want to make it quick and easy to the point. You want to keep people engaged, and we all know that today people's attention spans are very short. So get to the point. But anyways, it helps you create something that's going to work for you and then use it in email. So again, here's another thing that you can use to quickly follow up with your customers. At this time, I believe you can only use this service for sending to a client individually versus to a group.
Yeah, this is designed more for the individual, but you'll notice here I can choose the email address. And then something that we haven't touched on, which is really useful, is we have something called merge codes. So like ChatGPT, our AI author does say, hey, dear client name. So then you would just highlight that, come down to this little area that says template, and we want it to go all the way down to contact here. I had to scroll a long way. Sorry about that. There we go. And you'd have first name. Well, it works when I actually have a person attached to the email. And then, yeah, I know. I'm doing a just demo and I completely fall on my face there, right? Let's
That's
do
okay.
it
I
again.
understand what you're doing.
But somebody does. I don't know if I do right at the moment. But yeah, you can then change it up, edit it up,
Copy, pause,
put who you're
block.
sending it to, and then just hit send.
Awesome. So yeah, it's a cool tool if you use it as a tool. All right, so that's AI author, and that's what's new if you want to check that out. And now Social Connect. So you may or may have not signed up for Social Connect. It is a new lead program that we started offering. I want to say I think it's been just over a year now. It could help you if you're using it properly as well, just like most things. So how this works is if you do sign up for Social Connect, we do have different packages available. We create, or our development team creates, ads on the back end using your active listings and your sold listings. They're just ads. Don't think of it as a listing, just think of it as a mere way to grab people's attention as an ad. When they click on it and they click on learn more, their information populates on the screen with their name, their email, their phone number. They have the option to either close out of it and they won't come into your system, or they click next. So there is a couple clicks that they have to do to actually come into your CRM. You get to choose, it's not zip codes, it's cities. You get to choose the cities that you would like to target, as well as it, by an algorithm, it does go based on people that are already looking at the market. But with that being said, it could be renters, could be sellers, could be buyers, could be, I call them looky-loos, people like myself that like to browse. So we can't say for sure if they are buyers or sellers, or it could be anyone. Now they come into your system, they automatically get emails, automatically get market snapshot, and texting if you do have your texting set up. And all you have to do is reach out and call them, see what they're interested. So think of it also as another way is building your database, because you'll always have these contacts available to reach out to.
We do have a question that, considering it's more directed towards the technical side, I will answer that one. We're asked, do you have AI service who's constantly in touch with our leads? We do not have that at this time. AI is still in its infancy. I know you see it and hear about it on a daily basis, but it is still learning. Part of the learning is figuring out how to communicate with a human and how to interact properly. There are some out there, but they're still not foolproof. AI is never, unfortunately, going to replace the human interaction. You can set a computer up to communicate with people, but it's never going to have the same personality that you do. So at this time, no, we do not have that. It's just to help formulate your emails and your text messages and then send them off. Who knows, maybe 5, 6 years down in the future, we're going to be able to sell a software, the all-in-one CRM agent who does everything for you, and you just sit back and collect all the money. And at that time, I will be looking into getting my real estate license.
So just remember too, though, that it does keep in touch with your leads by email, by text, and by market snapshot reports. So totally up to you if you want to sit back and just wait until someone responds to an email or a text, or you can kind of jump ahead and call them. You're gonna get that like more one-on-one interactive. So again, it's totally up to you how you want to use the service, but that is a suggestion, is that we suggest that you reach out and call them.
Yeah, for sure. The human touch is still very important in this day and age, even though most of us work remotely and do most of our stuff through Zoom or texting. It still is nice to have that human contact. I mean, during the days, even though I'm on the West Coast and Heather's in Ontario and we're both in Canada, we often will have a video conversation just to catch up on things work related and just every now and then just to chat.
Yeah, I was like, who are you kidding all the time?
Well, once a day
Don't
at
worry,
least.
we do work as well.
Yeah. We do work in between our chats.
Absolutely. All right. So if that's something you don't have or you're interested in getting, let us know. Other than that, yes, you see it right here. It's mobile friendly. So we don't have an app. You don't need to go to the app store, but you can use the CRM on your cell phone. So what you're going to do is if you are using Apple, you can only use Safari as far as I know. So you'll go to Safari, type in crm.topproducer.com. When your login page comes up, you're going to have at the bottom of the screen, it looks like a square with an arrow pointing up out of it. It's your share button. You're going to click on there and then add it to your home screen. You might have to scroll a little bit. Same with Android. If you go, you can use any browser. I use Chrome. I go to crm.topproducer.com, and then you're going to see, because this is a picture of my phone I took or my screen. So you'll see the three little dots in the top right corner if you're using an Android. You're going to click on here, and then it'll say add to home screen. And it looks like an app. So it's just like a quick little shortcut. And then you can go in there while you're out physically showing the properties to your customer and you're making all those notes into Property Insight. You can do it right here on your phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And I do see that follow-up was the Real Geeks has that with the text and emails to leads. I cannot speak to what any other CRMs do or don't do. I can understand. I hear about it from you folks. Honestly, and this is coming from a technician. I'm a 25-year computer tech who just happens to like teaching. I'm not at the point yet where I actually trust the computers to do that on their own. They would need to be monitored and taken care of because they learn by interacting.
Mhm.
If
And
you unfortunately get somebody who's interacting in a not so kind way, that could alter the way the AI is reacting. So
another thing as well, like, so being a realtor, this is your business. So when you're sending out an email and or a text with your business and your name on it, regardless of whether you have AI help you, like even the AI author, or if you're using Chat GPT, you should always reread these emails. You could be sending something that you don't know what information is in there. Always have a look at it. You can use these as helpful tools to, even if you have somebody create your campaigns for you, take a look at them. Make sure you know what's going out to these customers so you feel confident in answering their questions, but that you know that they're getting the proper information and they're not getting stuff that's not supposed to be in there. So regardless of whether you have that extra help, but I wouldn't, like Glenn said, I wouldn't suggest mainly on AI doing all the work, but we do have those automated emails, automated texts. You just have to do it the one time, set them up, and that can go out for months at a time. But definitely, I would always highly suggest overlooking the work and making sure that you're happy with what's being sent.
for sure. So with that, we do have a lot of resources to help you out. It's not just sell, do a webinar, and you're done. We're here to support you the whole way. We do have our support site at support.topproducer.com. We have a lot of frequently asked questions filled out there and videos and helpful walkthroughs. When you're on that page, you can go to the support's top menu bar, and there will be a link there for our webinar schedule and recordings. You can quickly see what next webinars we have, and we keep this up to date whenever they're available. We do also have a video library on there that will bring up some of the videos we have on our YouTube page, which, as you can see here, is youtube.com/topproducersoftware. This webinar itself will be up on YouTube before the end of today, because I just have to wait until the recording's done, do a little bit of quick editing, and I get it up there. We do have our blog, which is really a cool place to go and see any information relating to Top Producer or even just real estate in general. Plus, we hear success stories from people and we share them with their permission to say how they're working in the new changes in the real estate world, especially with the new NAR changes that came into effect this week. We also do have our facebook.com/group/top producer software group, you can reach out to fellow realtors or top producer employees there, and we can help you out and look after your information. And we got, like I say, at the beginning of the video, we did say we have live chat and we have email support. We're definitely there for you. We're definitely looking after you, and we want to help you. Our main goal is to make sure you guys are a success in your day-to-day work.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thanks, Glenn.
Hey, no problem.
And that's a wrap. All right. So we've gone over mostly everything. And if you do have any last minute questions, we're here to help answer those. And hopefully you were able to learn some new stuff.
And as we always have to say, all names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this production are fictitious. No identification with actual persons, living or deceased, places, and buildings is intended or should be inferred. I have to put that in there for the YouTube algorithm.
Awesome. Thanks so much and have a great day.
All right, everybody, you take care. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you again. Bye for now.